A very good morning, students. As we have started with the 9th standard science and we have completed with the lesson tissues, let us move on to the new chapter. Students, on the earth we find many organisms, right? Many organisms in the sense millions of different species of organisms we find. It may be like 1.7 or 1.8 million species. Hope you are understanding the meaning of species, right? So those many types of organisms we find on the earth. It may be the plants, animals, microbes, whatever it is, totally living organisms. And these living organisms, students, plants or animals, microbes, whatever it is, there are so many useful and few are causing some diseases, some are having medicinal uses, some are just increasing the beauty of the nature. Like this, so many varieties of plants and animals we find. And these millions of organisms, is it easy to study those millions as a one group, students? No, it's very difficult, right? So that is what the scientists, they have tried to make the groups of these organisms. So it will be very easy to us to study the groups with their characteristics, how whether they are useful or harmful, that all we will come to know step by step. So what I want to say, students, so let us learn one of the interesting chapter of the biology, that is diversity in living organisms. See the word diversity, students. The meaning of diversity itself, diversity in the universe. In the universe we find many organisms, many types of species of organisms. So like that we find the diversity in the living organisms. It may be about the plants or maybe about the animals, right? So how they have proved all this, that all we are going to discuss now step by step, right? In the lesson diversity of living organisms, we have to use a word called classification. To understand these organisms, to study about them, we have to do the classification. What is this classification, students? Even we are all using this classification in our day-to-day life. See, you are having so many books, right? In one cupboard, you are going to arrange the books as these are textbooks, these are the notebooks, these are all the reference books. Like that you are going to divide and keep. Why you are going to divide, students? Whenever you want, easily you can get that book, right? It makes your work easy. The same principle we are applying even for the living organisms. Means we are making the groups of organisms, right? So how we are making the groups, what is the base for that, that what we will study now. And what I want to say now first, that making the groups of organisms is called as the classification, right? Take down, students, the method of arranging organisms into groups or their sets. How we are making based on groups, based on similarities and differences. Based on similarities and the differences. So what similar characteristics are there? What are all the different characteristics? Based on that, they started making the groups of organisms, and that is called as the classification. Right, students? Okay. Now let us study what are all those similarities and the differences scientists they took. Let us start with the first scientist, as you are familiar with the Greek philosopher called as Aristotle. One of the famous Greek philosopher, thinker, everything he is called as Aristotle. He tried to classify the organisms, and he classified. How he classified? He classified based on habitat. Based on habitat of the organisms. Okay? Can you see correctly? Okay. Habitat. What do you mean by habitat, students? The place where the organisms are living. Okay. The habitat, it may be land, it may be the water, or it may be the air. So based on that, he classified the organisms as the three groups called as terrestrial, aquatic, and the aerial. Terrestrial means the organisms which are living on the land. Aquatic, in the water, which are all flying like birds and all. So like that, only based on the habitat he classified the organisms. But next who scientists comes, they thought that, is it correct to classify the organisms based on the habitat? No, there are so many organisms which we can't classify only under aquatic. There are different characteristics. So he tried to classify, but what happens, students? This classification will not stand good. Right? So next the scientist comes, and even they try to classify the organisms. The next scientist, he classified organisms based on presence or absence of the nucleus. As you know, we are dividing organisms as prokaryotes and eukaryotes. What do you mean by prokaryotes? The organisms which are not having the nucleus. Absence of nucleus are called as prokaryotes. Presence of nucleus are called as the eukaryotes. So they thought of dividing the organisms only based on the presence or absence of the nucleus as the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. But still it is not the final, it is not a conclusion for the classification. So they took the another character, another different thing for the classification. That is based on number of cells. Yes, based on number of cells. Number of cells means how can you divide, students? Unicellular and the multicellular. Organisms which are all having single cell or maybe with the many cells. But again, students, only based on the number of cells, we cannot divide all the organisms. So next they took about photosynthesis. Means organisms who can prepare their own food, who cannot prepare their own food. Means how many categories will, students? Two categories as a autotrophs and heterotrophs. Again, is it final for all? No, only based on autotrophs can prepare their own food, cannot prepare or dependent on the plants. We cannot divide the organisms. So photosynthesis, only in one groups like autotrophs or heterotrophs, they planned to make the subgroups of the organisms. Sorry. Groups are there, so they thought of making subgroups of the organisms. Right? Like this, the journey started, and about the classification. Not over, students, still what criteria they took. Right? So first they tried with the habitat, then with the presence or absence of the nucleus, then with the number of cells, either photosynthetic or not. Then they thought of making the subgroups. Right? Next comes, they thought of making the classification based on evolution. Next, they thought of making the classification based on evolution. What is evolution, students? It is one of the slow and gradual process. Right? So just imagine the human beings. How we were there in the earlier time, our body structure was different. So gradually it has changed, and at present we find this type of the human beings. Like that, with the organisms, we find so many changes. So they thought of taking those characteristics, earlier characteristics, present one, how can we do the similarity, differences, checking that, they thought of making the groups of the organisms, that is called classification and the evolution. Whenever you take the evolution word, you know one of the famous scientists called Darwin, Charles Darwin. He said about classification and the evolution. He wrote one of the book called The Origin of the Species. The Origin of the Species in the year 1859. In his book, he said about many organisms and their evolution. Means earlier, how was their body structure? How gradually, how after so many years, you find the changes in their body. Like that, he said. Okay, so he tried to classify the organisms based on class evolution. But again, students, it will not stand good. Right? The next comes one more scientist, Ernst Haeckel. He tried to classify in his own way. Okay, how he classified, that all we will discuss in our next class. Right? Please go through the textbook, students, about the definition of evolution, classification and all. In the next class, we'll continue. Right? Thank you. Have a good day.